talk to her. And she your friend on Facebook, but your wife can't be your friend on Facebook.
Uh-oh, wait a minute now. Is that true, Mr. Peebles?
Yes, Your Honor.
And why is
Men need to start knowing who exactly they love and want before getting married to avoid marital problems later in life. Some men seem to love their mistresses more than the wives they exchanged for better or worse vows with, and Mr. Peebles here is an example of one of the men.
You say you married the defendant, Mrs. Peebles, on April Fool's Day 2 years ago, but since then you've been played for a fool. You claim you are not her 20-month-old daughter, Amira's biological.
Mr. Peebles claims he married Ms. Peebles on April Fool's Day, and the tag seems to have stuck around since then, but it's about to be over when the DNA test results come back saying he's not the father of her baby. Ms. Peebles, on the other hand, also claims she was the one fooled by Mr. Peebles' lies, but she knows for certain that he fathered her daughter.
Explain to the court, who is fooling whom?
Your Honor, truthfully, I feel like I'm the fool. In the beginning, everything was cool, she was nice. But then to come to find out she's very conniving.
He fooled me, she fooled me. Mr. and Ms. Peebles probably think this is like a playground where kids run around and blame one another for everything. Mr. Peebles said the honeymoon phase went pretty well, but the fooling came not long after. Ms. Peebles said that man did the fooling since she had to take care of him for years.
Somehow you ended up married. What happened?
he wanted to be with me? When he went away, he made it real clear he wanted to be with me. So I took initiative and say, okay, we're gonna make this a relationship. And I've been.
That's a lot to take in Ms. Peebles. From starting a relationship to marriage, making a baby, cheating on Mr. Peebles because he cheated first? Woo! Mr. Peebles should have seen that coming since he cheated first, and his wife doesn't look like she was going to let it slide.
What about all this?
The day before my birthday, we got into it. So on my birthday, she dropped me off at my mother's house. She went to this little party that was already in the making.
Incorrect, he drove my car.
Mr. Peebles and his wife really have some explanation to do. It seemed their marriage got sour almost immediately it started. That's concerning. Mr. Peebles says Ms. Peebles already had her plans to cheat on his birthday, regardless of his own way of having fun for his special day.
I called her phone.
And what
I
happened?
called my
I
phone.
called her phone and he answered her
You
phone
a
and
lie.
said, I'm chilling with my baby.
What?
Exactly
That's
what
a
he
lie.
said.
Judge, how he found out is when we came home that Sunday, I told him.
Ms. Peebles says Mr. Peebles' claim is a lie as she even pays his phone bill. Mr. Peebles affirms his claim, saying a man picked up his wife's phone with a funny line that surely meant they were having fun and to top it all off on his birthday. Well, if that's true, that's wild.
Peebles, is this the only man you believe your wife was with?
No, ma'am.
There's another person?
Who?
Somebody else came to my door. I look at her, she look at me. Like, who can that be?
Ms. Peebles? Mr. Peebles really has reasons to doubt his wife's loyalty, and most importantly, the paternity of their supposed child together. Ms. Peebles says the man Mr. Peebles is talking about helped her in her difficult times, but they never had any intimate relationship, but who knows?
When he up here talking to other women and got a baby on the way. We married now. Your baby due is 2 weeks before our baby birthday. And you still talk to her. And she your friend on Facebook, but your wife can't be your friend on Facebook.
Uh-oh, wait a minute now.
Oh, it's a two-way street kind of thing in the Peebles family. Mr. Peebles was also actively having a different life outside of his family. Mr. Peebles doesn't even want his wife as part of his friends on Facebook. That's how much he wants to live a double life. Ms. Peebles seemed like the troublemaker all along until she spilled Mr. Peebles' beans. Fair enough.
Ask her about now, though. You pregnant now. How you get pregnant now?
Yeah.
What you been doing? Who you been with since
somebody
I
else.
left?
But guess
and
what,
we
Your
been
Honor?
back together, and she still been with him. Still been sleeping with him, coming in 8 o'clock.
Wait, what? Ms. Peebles doesn't know who her unborn child's baby father is again? Oh, wow. Mr. Peebles and Ms. Peebles seem to need a divorce lawyer more than they know. Mr. Peebles got another woman pregnant while still married to Ms. Pebbles. There's also Ms. Peebles, who is definitely coming back to paternity court after she put to bed. So yeah, maybe we should skip to the crucial point about the paternity of an innocent child.
We're in trouble here. Let's get back to Amira first. Mr. Peebles, do you have a relationship with Amira?
Barely.
Kinda, sorta.
Kind of, sort of. What does that mean?
She more like in daycare. So it's like when I'm out, I'm out.
If only folks would stop cheating on their significant other, paternity court wouldn't be a thing anymore. However, men still get away easily with cheating, but women, well, they have to carry the burden of the pregnancy and even deal with the paternity fraud that results from their cheating scandal, just like Ms. Henny in this case.
Mr. Fye, you have petitioned the court for paternity tests on the defendant's 2 children, 2-year-old Nathan and 8-month-old Samuel. Additionally, you have requested a lie detector test.
Mr. Fye is doubting not one, but the 2 children Ms. Henny allegedly claimed to have given birth for him. Mr. Fye doesn't believe he's their father, and in addition, he wants a lie detector test to see if Ms. Henny is lying about a particular issue. Anyway, Ms. Henny agreed to have cheated in the past, but she claims Mr. Fye is the father of her 2 children.
Kids don't look like me.
They do look exactly like
They don't
you.
look like me. I mean, Nathan, he's got different features than what I have, and little Sammy, he kind of looks more like Nathan too. They both look alike, and little Sammy's got my full name, except for he's the 4th.
Witnessing cases like Mr. Fye and Ms. Henny's situation makes me realize something crucial. Too many relationships fall apart because couples wait until it's too late to seek help. If you find yourself trapped in constant arguments, feeling distant from your partner, or sensing that your relationship is on the edge, it's essential to act immediately. That's why I highly recommend Mend the Marriage by renowned relationship coach Brad Browning. This step-by-step system is specifically designed to help couples quickly stop fights, rebuild trust, and rekindle emotional connection before irreparable damage occurs. Don't let your relationship become another heartbreaking story. Scan the QR code on your screen now, or click the link in the description below, and start repairing your relationship today. Your future happiness depends on the action you take right now. Oh, now it's clear why Mr. Fye needed a lie detector test. Mrs. Henny doesn't look like she coughs up the truth easily. Mr. Fye's friends told on Ms. Henny, but she denied it until her secret got out from the real source. Ms. Henny is maintaining a calm tone like she's a victim. She should have just stayed loyal to avoid this mess.
Not in the window of conception.
Right.
Mr. Fye, you don't seem to be buying that.
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I've caught recent text messages in her phone of her talking to her ex-boyfriends, and we've been...
Ms. Henny wasn't even done with her bad habit even after she had been caught in the act. Mr. Fye claimed he had recently found texts from Ms. Henny and her ex-boyfriends. Aside from the fact that Ms. Henny has no business still being in touch with her past partners, her face looks like there's even more to them than them just being in touch.
You have doubts surrounding both children. Let's talk about Nathan first. Explain to me why you doubt.
I have an oval-shaped head, okay, Your Honor? My ears are close to my head. He has a block head.
You can be correct about all of it, Mr. Fye. From Ms. Henny cheating to her not being the best partner but assuming paternity based on the shape of head, that can't be entirely right, Mr. Fye. The oval-shaped or block-head shape is nice in theory, but in practical, babies can have different head shapes compared to their parents' shape of head. But maybe Mr. Fye is right once again.
He used to be a close friend of mine.
Oh. Miss Henny, how did you end up sleeping with your boyfriend's close friend?
Our kids hung out. When he went away for that 45 days, we were hanging out with our kids.
Mr. Fye's close friend? Oh, that's the reason this man is so sure about the shape of these babies' heads. Mr. Fye may be right, but he can't entirely base the resemblance of a baby on his own body, though. Ms. Henny knows she really messed up, but she says her man was gone for about 45 days. Could that have been Ms. Henny's reason?
It was like a 2-month difference between any pregnancy and me cheating on him. There's no way that any of these kids are not his. If he doesn't think they're his kids, then I have their birth certificates that he signed.
I'd like to see those. Jerome?
Ow! Ms. Henny finally made her comeback. Ms. Henny says if Mr. Fye believes so much that he isn't the children's father, why did he sign their birth certificates? Well, Mr. Fye claimed he only did that because he had a father in his life growing up, and he would want the same thing for the boys. That's not convincing enough, but it's quite plausible.
Mr. Fye, you signed the birth certificate, so what's the big deal about your name? You're still the legal father.
Today, if I find out the kids ain't mine, I want, Samuel John Fye IV, I want his name taken from him. And Nathan, I want my last name pulled from the birth certificate.
Mr. Fye isn't taking any chances. Mr. Fye wants to be completely out of Ms. Henny's life for good if the result comes back saying the boys are not his kids. Poor kids. Mr. Fye must have been so heartbroken by Ms. Henny's infidelity to make him go so cold with his decision. Can't blame the man.
And you still contend you only slept with him that one time.
Yes.
It was more than once.
No,
4. There's 4 times she cheated on me.
4 times or 1 time?
one time.
I've caught several text messages in her phone.
Ms. Henny maintains that she only cheated on Mr. Phi once, but Mr. Phi says that's a lie. These two won't stop going back and forth about cheating once or 4 times. At least Mr. Phi treats the children the same regardless of his situation with Ms. Henny. Let's find out if the children's name will have to be scrapped or if it will remain the same.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Phi, you are the father.
I apologize for that. Unless she doesn't, unless she's saying me.
Second result.
Stepping outside of your marriage to seek solace for whatever reason best known to you is as wrong as it sounds, but people do it as they feel it's needed at times. But in Ms. Knowles' case, things got out of hand and she's about to face the consequences of her actions.
Mr. and Mrs. Knowles, you previously appeared in court with the defendant for a paternity case involving another child. You're back today because this love triangle has led you to yet another paternity dispute.
Ms. Knowles is in paternity court with her husband, Mr. Knowles, right by her husband to prove Mr. Knowles is the father of her baby. There's Mr. Lindsley on the other side of the court claiming he knows he fathered Ms. Knowles' child, but she doesn't want to accept it because she doesn't want her secret about two-timing Mr. Lindsley and Mr. Knowles. Mr. Knowles seems to be taking the lead here.
Knowles, when you found out you were pregnant, who did you tell?
Me.
Him.
Me.
He was in the hospital with
I was in the hospital room.
When I said who did you tell when you found out you were pregnant, I heard 2 me.
Mr. Knowles was so quick to answer the question about the pregnancy. Well, Ms. Knowles says she only made a Facebook post, and that must have been the way Mr. Lindsley found out. Mr. Lindsley says that's not true, as it was Ms. Knowles herself that told him through a text message, but he can't provide the evidence because Ms. Knowles took the photo after their breakup. That's suspicious, but okay.
Well, according to what I have calculated up and with the evidence that I have here, she was either sleeping with both of us or sleeping with me because she was living at my house during the time that she would have conceded.
Now, Mr. Lindsley is in the lead. Mr. Lindsley is up to date with the conception calendar. Mr. Lindsley says according to when and Knowles gave birth, she was in his house when she conceived, and that only means their intimacy was effective. But Ms. Knowles says the story is different. There's a tiny % chance Mr. Knowles can also be a potential father, but Mr. Lindsley takes the lead.
kids and Mr. Knowles in our house in the later month of March.
That can't.
Back from
On
like March 22nd.
On my Facebook page, where I took a picture of me and my oldest.
Different dates keep flying left and right in the room. Ms. Knowles and her husband are trying to prove Mr. Lindsley's claim is false because they had been living together and going everywhere together. Maybe that's true, but never say never, Mr. Knowles. Ms. Knowles might have doubled back.
And so she wasn't even really staying with Mr. Lindsley at the time.
She was staying with a friend of hers.
So then that means that she wouldn't have even been staying with you until the closer beginning of May.
Me and Mr. Lindsley officially separated in the middle of March.
Mr. Knowles is dedicated to taking his wife's side, but it's obvious Mr. Lindsley also has enough memory to let Mr. Knowles know Ms. Knowles may not have been 100% clean with him. Mr. Lindsley says they can even check the school dates to confirm what he's saying, but Mr. Knowles can only grasp onto Ms. Knowles' words.
Knowles, you are still struggling with this issue with Mr. Lindsley insisting that he fathered your wife's child.
Yes.
And what is it doing to the family?
It's tearing us apart.
Mr. Knowles is certain that's his child because he believes he looks just like him. And funny enough, because he has the same hairline as him. Anyway, Ms. Knowles just needs to get the result to get it all over with, as it's been chaotic dealing with Mr. Lindsley. But maybe if Ms. Knowles wasn't hopping from one house to the other, this wouldn't be happening.
I really don't know why she changes her mind every 2 months.
Why do you say every 2 months?
We'll quit talking for a month and a half here and there, and then next I know, I'll get a message from a random number talking about, hi.
There is no way, shape, or form I contact this man.
Mr. Lindsley seems to have more knowledge of the entire situation than anybody else in the room, including Ms. Knowles herself. Mr. Lindsley says Ms. Knowles always comes back with a text message. Ms. Knowles says that's not true and immediately goes back to she wants everything to be over. Whoa!
The baby, and you named the baby Tyler Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which when she called me about having the baby, she told me a whole nother name.
Which name did she tell
Didn't
you?
tell me I don't actually remember the exact name she told me, but she did
Okay,
not
but
say
that doesn't
Tyler Jr.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, maybe all of this is really chaotic, like Ms. Knowles mentioned. Mr. Knowles believes he's the father by all means. He even signed the birth certificate, but that doesn't mean he's the biological father if he's not. It's about time we know if Mr. Lindsley has been right all along.
Mr. Lindsley, or Mr. Knowles, is the father of 3-month-old Tyler Knowles Jr. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Knowles.
Paternity court with a man and a woman in the stand is messy enough, not to mention either one of them coming along with one of the family members. Then the entire case becomes a disaster. Everyone would want to have a say instead of focusing on the baby's paternity being discussed. Mr. Muriel and his sister are about to be one of those people that show up with their family members.
Mr. Muriel, you and your sister have petitioned the court to order a DNA test to prove that you are not the father of the defendant's 18-month-old son, Zadrian. You have always believed you are not the father and are hoping the court grants you the test.
As usual, Mr. Muriel is following in the footsteps of the men ahead of him that always deny paternity. Mr. Muriel, alongside his sister, are in paternity court to prove Mr. Muriel is not the father of the child in question. Ms. Redmond is in the other stand, claiming there's really no reason for a DNA test, since she knows for certain that Mr. Muriel fathered her son. He even signed the birth certificate.
Why is this DNA test so important?
Well, Your Honor, first of all, I'm a young entrepreneur. I'm 22 years old, and I'm looking to expand my brand. And with this lady here putting a child on me, is like stopping me from.
An entrepreneur should have kept it in his pants, though, but okay, Mr. Muriel. Mr. Muriel says he's just starting his life and looking to expand, so Ms. Redmond putting a baby on him is the last thing he needs. When asked by the judge why he signed the birthday certificate since he felt that way, Mr. Muriel said he was pressured too.
His mom was there telling him the baby looked just like you. Ain't no denying this baby.
Was your mother present at the birth, Mr. Muriel?
No.
Yes, she was.
You
No,
so
she
you
wasn't.
don't.
No, she wasn't.
Yes,
Neither
she
was I,
was.
or I would have never.
These three grown-ups seem to remember the birth differently. Ms. Redmond says Mr. Muriel's mother was present at the birth of the child, but Mr. Muriel and his sister say that's false. Mr. Muriel and his sister claim their mother wasn't there. Well, whether that's true or not, Mr. Muriel signed the birth certificate, and that makes him the baby's legal father.
And I told him
But
he
that's
also
why you
needs
were
a real
calling me
DNA
while I was in the
test.
hospital like, nephew, why didn't you name him Sherrard? Nephew.
Lies.
That was you.
So you're saying people were acknowledging this
Lies.
child?
Nephew? That's a comic relief. But time to get serious. A child's paternity is up for debate. Redmond says Mr. Muriel's sister didn't have any problem prior to the denial, as she even wanted her to name the child after his cousins. Mr. Muriel and his sister are once again denying the fact that they played such a role.
Well, where's
on his
the picture?
phone talking about nephew, why didn't you name, and then his nieces and nephews, her kids were asking, why did you name him Zadrian and not Sherrard? And because I wanted him to have his own name, but I let Sherrard put it as the middle name.
The baby's mother isn't supposed to be mixing the dates, but mistakes happen. Mr. Muriel's sister seems to be the one really bothered about this paternity test. Mr. Muriel says his doubt is solely based on the fact that he wasn't even around when she conceived, and that can only mean Ms. Redmond has another man she had been intimate with.
Where he was on them dates, particularly, I'll give him that. He could have been wherever he wanted, because that's where you.
So it is your testimony that you don't know
Right.
Not
where he was
those couple
December
dates that
18th
you're
through the
giving me,
23rd.
but by the 26th he was here.
Ow! Time out, it is Ms. Redmond. Mr. Muriel's sister says her brother doesn't drink or smoke, but Ms. Redmond says he's always at the club and even with his sister too. That's shocking. Anyway, Ms. Redmond says she and Mr. Muriel were together, and they made the baby that the paternity is being talked about. Redmond can't wait for the result to prove her right.
This is the issue. You all are
The
asking
issue
for-
is 1 minute she says he's the dad, 1 minute she says that he's not, and
No, that's
he's trying
y'all.
to live
That's
his
their
life. No, that is
issue.
you. That is
1
you getting
minute,
caught riding down the street
1
with
minute.
dudes. That's you on Snapchat.
Mr. Muriel doesn't even have to lift a finger. His sister is doing the Lord's work for him. Mr. Muriel's sister is going toe-to-toe with Ms. Redmond on this issue. Mr. Muriel's sister says Mr. Redmond was posting another man as her baby's daddy on Snapchat, and that's proof her brother is not the father. But Ms. Redmond says it's a lie.
Say when you opened that door, it looked just like.
Yeah.
I guess guess what?
to.
The reason why he said that was my son. He said, "Oh, that man is light-skinned. That's probably your baby daddy." Oh, I couldn't even.
Miss Redmond could pass up for a real comedian with her reference to every light-skinned person in the room being her baby daddy. Anyway, Miss Redmond seals her fate by telling Mr. Muriel he's not the father. Mr. Muriel doesn't even want to accept paternity. That just makes it easier for him. But there's the DNA test result that will determine whether Mr. Muriel can be let off the hook or not.
When it comes to 18-month-old Zadrian Muriel, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Muriel, you are the father.
Maybe some children's melanin may pop out later in life, but sometimes it may be obvious from the jump that the melanin is never coming. However, skin color isn't the only factor that determines the paternity of a child. Only a DNA test can determine the paternity of a child.
And the defendant, Mr. McKee, met on an online dating website, and the conversation quickly jumped offline and into Mr. McKee's bed. You believed you were in a committed relationship with the defendant and was devastated.
Ms. Thomas claims she thought she was in a loving relationship with Mr. McKee until she got pregnant, and that was when she realized Mr. McKee had been stringing her along. Mr. McKee claims he's 100% sure he's not the father of Ms. Thomas's child.
Why do you believe you were in a committed relationship with the defendant?
First of all, we met on a dating website, as you spoke. We started off talking, and then once we started knowing each other, who we were,
How long did you talk on the phone?
Maybe about a month or two.
Okay.
Ms. Thomas thought she and Mr. McKee had something going on because they were driving to meet each other and having a good time. Well, Ms. Thomas got to know as time passed that she was the only one in the relationship, as Mr. McKee had a different idea of what they had going on.
No, Miss Thomas wanted to be in a relationship with you?
Not really, Your Honor, but
Did you all ever discuss being in a relationship?
no, ma'am.
Oh, you didn't?
No, ma'am.
So what was it about her you were attracted to?
That picture she had online.
Mr. McKee says they never really had any discussion about a relationship, and that's part of the reason he didn't pay much attention to it. And Ms. Thomas having a 45-minute drive every other day after putting her children to sleep? Wow. She must have been really committed to the one-sided relationship.
At some point, you find out you're pregnant. And when you find out, you call Mr. McKee and tell him?
Yes, ma'am. And he thought I was just joking, like playing, or just maybe just sick. So maybe like a couple weeks later, I said, let me take a pregnancy test. So I took a pregnancy test.
Mr. McKee really wasn't about to be bothered about Ms. Thomas's situation at the time. Mr. McKee even blocked her number after she informed him about the pregnancy? That's another level of unbothered. Mr. McKee neither cared about her getting pregnant or him being a potential father.
Oh, hold on. Mr. McKee, you never heard from Miss Thomas again during the whole pregnancy?
I haven't heard from her, Your Honor.
All while she was pregnant?
All while she was pregnant.
So you weren't there when the baby was born?
No, Your Honor.
So after the baby was born, you tried back again with this new
I tried back
number?
again, like a week later with a new number, and then he answered.
We will get back to the loss of communication in a second. Baby number 8? At what point was Ms. Thomas planning to stop giving birth? Ms. Thomas already had 7 babies, but she went out every other night to meet up with Mr. McKee. That's a different type of commitment. Well, Mr. McKee said that wasn't his baby as soon as he saw the baby's photos. That's easy to understand.
Sent you a text with a picture of the baby. Your first response was what?
The baby look like he can be for Donald Trump.
Like, really?
Oh,
Really?
I didn't expect that one.
Mr. McKee just referenced the baby to the current president of the United States? Well, even Donald Trump would need to do a DNA test to be sure that's his baby. Ms. Thomas is all smiles as she's softly spoken and trying to make Mr. McKee know that's his baby. It doesn't look like it, but who knows?
How are you feeling in your heart? Like, are you just so doubtful you don't want to attach yourself?
If she meet me on a dating site, whoever else you think she might be me?
You feel like because she has more than one child.
Oh, Mr. McKee is finally putting his words to use. Mr. McKee's other reason aside from the skin color is how fast they had clicked and how easy Ms. Thomas let everything between them happen. Well, considering the 45-minute drive, Mr. McKee has a point, or maybe Ms. Thomas was just in love.
Whole 9 months.
You did.
For my whole family, because I didn't want to have another child without their dad.
So the entire 9 months you went without the support?
When I went into labor, my family was like, what? You in the hospital having what? I said, I'm in the hospital having my baby.
Now, Ms. Thomas is getting emotional. Ma Thomas says she had to go through the entire pregnancy all by herself, as she couldn't even tell her family about it because of the fear of getting judged. From Mr. McKee's reaction, he doesn't seem to be concerned because he genuinely feels he didn't father that child. Let's find out if he did father the child regardless of the skin color.
Of Thomas versus McKee. When it comes to 8-month-old Carson Thomas, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McKee, you are not the father.